Welcome in for another edition of On the Tee. I'm Anita Marks and my partners in crime as they magically appear behind the glass. And that is John Mascari, head pro at Alpine Country Club. Look at you, man. How you doing?
What's up?
Oh, boy. Who's pitching tonight, by the way?
We got the Astros in town tonight.
I know. Boo, cheater.
Banging the trash cans all night long.
Where's my bat? Yeah.
I'm just curious to see who goes down. How you doing?
I'm great. I'm doing great. And big hair tonight. Can't control it. Sorry, not sorry. And we've got Christina. I'm just thrilled to have here at this. Christina Thompson, who joins us now on, of course, Golf for Her, CEO extraordinaire, as I always say. You always want to make sure that you look good in order so that you can play well. And that's really, really important. All right, guys, as always, we start the show and Christina, our show mixologist, has our show drink, and it always correlates with the tournament that's taking place this week in case you want to be your own mixologist on Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Christina, what concoction do you have tonight?
Okay, so the concoction tonight is the Cherry Bounce. Apparently, it's the most influential and historic cocktail there is in North Carolina history. It's been around since like the 1600s. I don't know. You can Google it and fact check that, but that's what I read up on it. It's rumored to be George Washington's favorite cocktail.
Really? Well, he did have a cherry tree, didn't he?
He did. So, anywho, this is the Cherry Bounce. Google it. I know there's a lot of history with this. But yeah, so we had a cherry tree, and now we have the Cherry Bounce. I don't know. But anyway, it's cherry vodka. Have you ever had cherry vodka? I never even heard of it. But anyway, no. Cherry vodka, cranberry juice, lime juice, and of course, my favorite, the little cherries. I think every drink I've done this season has been like something I've like thrown in a cherry. So there you go. It's not bad.
You didn't like the one last week. So I mean, like everything is a step ahead of last week, right?
True. But it's good. It's a nice drink. I drink this on the golf course for sure.
You know, she just mentioned, and I might be throwing out a question you might not know, but there's a course that Ron Jaworski owns down south, kind of like
the Eagle's Nest.
No, Deer Run, Deer.
There's a Deer Run in New Jersey.
Yeah. So it's yeah. And well, first of all, it's a public course. You can play for $75. It's one of my favorite public courses. That in Leatherstocking up near Cooperstown, right? Like that's another $75 phenomenal course built along a 9-mile man-made lake. But this Deer Run Deer, apparently, like literally, a stone's throw from the golf course is where George Washington, and I'm not a historian by any stretch of the by any stretch of the imagination. But anyway, like pretty cool. Like you play there, and then they have this like little inn with a pub, and apparently at this pub is where like George Washington signed some like important document.
We are so pathetic that we don't even know what you're talking about.
Who's George Washington?
I have no idea, but that's pretty cool. Whatever the document may be, it might be something really important. We don't know.
Yeah, well, he was having a cherry bounce while he was signing it.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised. Anyway, as always, we look back before we look forward. Let's talk about the Valspar. Sam Burns wins. Now, this is very interesting. Twice this season, he's had the 50-hole lead and failed to convert. 6 other times, he was atop the leaderboard at the end of a round, but just never, of course, never was able to win. I want to come to you on this, John. What do you feel the difference was this week? What do you feel the difference was this week for Sam Burns to be able to? We talk about this a lot, right? It's one thing to be the hunted; it's another to be the hunter. What was different this week?
Yeah, I think it was confidence. He's still a young golfer, obviously under 25 years old, and has started to feel a little more comfortable in that position. So he's been there before, and I'm sure the first few times he was not sleeping very much and was nervous and afraid to make mistakes and gripping the club a little bit tighter, as we like to say. But He felt comfortable in this place. You know, he pretty much traded jabs the start of the fourth round. And let's be honest, he got a little lucky on number 13. He didn't hit a very good shot, but he managed to find the putting surface. And Keegan Bradley, seeing that he was so short, he left himself about 60 feet of putt left. Took 8-iron, I believe, off the 13th tee and pretty much blocked out an 8-iron into the water and double bogey, and away we go with 5 holes left. Sorry.
Now, both of you were on the Sunday show with me on 98.7 ESPN, and I know we really liked Max Homa going into Sunday's round. Tied for the lead with a birdie on the par 5 opening hole, but then after that, he didn't make another birdie the rest of the day. Christina, John, your thoughts on Max Homa? How disappointed? I really thought, because Sam Burns has struggled in these situations on Sunday, and you never know what you're going to get with Keegan Bradley. I really thought Homa was the play, and you were able to get him at plus 250. So, needless to say, I lost money on Sunday.
Well, I mean, there's no denying. Like, Max Homa, he's a contender in every tournament that he's been playing this year. I mean, we have this conversation. He's part of our conversation. We pick him almost every week. One of us has him either to win or top 5. So, yeah, I mean, he keeps improving in his game. And, I mean, coming into, obviously, the tournament this week, he's the defending champ. So, I mean, he's just got so much momentum with Max Homa. So, yeah, it's a bummer he didn't win. But I know we all kind of, like, we're leaning towards him. But hey, you know, he
came out of the gate on fire.
Yeah,
I mean, right?
He's always there. I mean, he's just, you know, he's made like the cut 4 out of the last 5 events he's played in. So, I mean, there's no surprise that this guy's like just always there, like in there. I think I'm just impressed. Like, going back to Sam Burns, I mean, he's the 4th first-time winner this season, I think. So, I mean, it's just also going to show the depth of and the new breed of players that are out there, these young guys like Colin Morikawa, you know, that are out there shining and really having the opportunity to play phenomenal golf and show us what can be out there outside of like the shadow of like the Tiger Woods. I mean, DJ has been I'm sorry, I'm going back to DJ. He's been such a disappointment this year, I feel like. And I mean, he's always picked to favor to win, but I mean, he's not doing anything to justify it. I just don't understand it. I don't know. It's a popularity contest. But I just love these first-time winners. I'd love, you know, I was going to look for the stat to see what year, you know, how many first-time winners we've had on the PGA Tour. I'd be interested to learn, like, what the most was, if you guys know.
Don't you guys feel like, because, and as you know, I handicap golf for ESPN. I'm on their gambling platform, Daily Wager. In fact, I just got done doing a show. And, you know, it's been so, last year, I want to say I picked like 8 winners. Like, I just felt like every 2 or 3 weeks I was picking a winner, and I think I have 1 winner this season. I feel that, you know, this season has been really, really difficult. The consistency isn't there. You know what I mean? Like, one guy misses the cut the previous week and then wins the tournament the next, or one guy finishes, you know, like Sanjay M. You know what I mean? Like, he crushes the Florida swing and then he wets the bed, you know, somewhere else. Like there's a lack of consistency. Aren't you finding that this year?
I don't know if lack of consistency is the word. It's just parity. Anita, there's so many good players on the tour, and to your point, you can miss the cut one week and have a few extra days to work on your game and be ready to go and win the next week. It's something very good for the tour. It stinks for us as we're trying to pick winners. But if you're a smart bettor, you're doing a lot of top 5s and top 10s and top 20 picks versus the winning bet, which is a little harder to nail down.
All right, guys, let's take a look. As always, we look at the FedEx Cup standings after each and every tournament. And there we go. Look at that. Justin Thomas now has surpassed Bryson DeChambeau as a number 1 in the FedEx Cup standings. DeChambeau 2, Hovland 3, which is somewhat of a surprise to me. I faded Hovland this past week, and I actually won some money on that. Cameron Smith, Schauffele, Sink, Cantlay, who's been struggling as of late. I can't wait to break down this tournament that they're heading into this weekend with you guys and see if either of you like Cantlay. Spieth, Decky, of course, winning the Masters, and Dustin Johnson drops all the way down to 10. Very, very interesting. And let's go from that straight to our next championship. It's going to be here before we know it, the PGA Championship. And surprise, surprise, Dustin Johnson is still favored 10-1. And I know we're splitting hairs here, but Justin Thomas 12-1, Rahm 12-1, Bryson DeChambeau 14, Spieth, Brooks Koepka, and Schauffele, as well as Rory, are still 16-1. Christina, I mean, you mentioned Dustin Johnson, 10-1. Are you still surprised? I mean, he struggled this past week. Are you still surprised that he's favored heading into the PGA Championship? Your mic is off.
I'll talk for her.
Okay.
So check out this mirror in the background.
All right.
Hey.
We'll reconnect. Obviously, we're having technical difficulties.
All good.
Let me give you a quick update. I did not mute her. She is muted somehow on herself. So I'm going to work with her on that in the back end. You guys keep going.
Oh, well,
all right.
Thank you.
Thanks, Brett.
Thank you for the update, Brett, in such dramatic fashion.
Hey, Anita.
Hi, John.
Hey. I think let's just talk about.
High five.
Look at us.
We're so stupid.
Oh my God. Okay. Let's talk about DJ. So obviously, I think there's a lot of money that was on him earlier in the season that is keeping the odds in that number. I'll be curious to see as what happens as the tournament gets even closer, how those odds change. I still like him. I still think he's got super focus on that tournament, which might explain why he hasn't been playing all the best of late. I think he's looking ahead to the PGA Championship, and I still like him in that event.
Ricky I'm sorry, go ahead.
No. I don't want to interrupt. You said his name. It's like Beetlejuice. If you say it 3 times, something happens. So go ahead. Please
Ricky
continue.
Fowler reportedly among the participants.
Go ahead. Sorry.
Reportedly to receive a special invitation to play in the PGA Championship. I mean,
where's mine?
Exactly. Listen, you know how much there she is. Hi.
And just like that, she reappeared.
Hi. My bag. We were just talking about Ricky Fowler getting an invitation to the PGA Championship.
Oh, that's nice. That's so nice.
Is he deserving, Christina Thompson? Is he deserving?
That is such a mixed bag. That's like the most difficult question. Is he deserving? I mean, are we going back to the popularity contest again too?
Yes.
Let's bring Ricky in for a show, I guess. I don't know. Whatever. It's okay. Hey, look, they can do that. They can bring whoever they want in there. They think it's going to add some eyeballs. I don't think they need Ricky. That's nice. I think they're just trying to get him to get some.
They really can't just bring anyone in there. This is what I hate. This is not like it's some silly tournament. I'm not saying silly, but a smaller event.
Yeah.
This is a major.
Right.
This is the PGA Championship.
Right.
You have to qualify to get in. Not, hey, if you're not doing anything, you want to come by. We may or might not have a spot for you.
Make sure you wear orange.
But just correct me if I'm wrong, though. I mean, aren't there some guidelines into which the players get invited into this, right? I mean, they've got to be, I know there's some parameters. I mean, listen, it's their tournament. I guess
you can make the numbers work any way you want, Christina, to get someone in. If you really want someone in, you can get them in.
And they want
Ricky in for some dumb friggin' reasons. We can shoot 74, 75, and
I'm going to put money on Ricky then, because you know what? Then he's going to win it, because that would be a great story.
All right.
It'd be awesome.
We won't tell Mark. Guys,
take his BMX bike and go home. Guys,
player of the year. Right now, conversation is happening. At this point in time in the season, one could argue Bryson DeChambeau. Somebody could argue Spieth. I'm going to make an argument for my guy Willie Zalatoris, even though he just got engaged.
What does that have anything to do with his Player of the Year status?
I don't know. I just wanted to circle back there. Who, if you had to put a vote in right now, I'd put a vote in for Willie Zalatoris. I know he hasn't won. I know he hasn't won shit yet. Okay. But
he hasn't missed the cut.
He hasn't missed the cut. He hasn't missed the cut. He's a human ATM in regard to finishing in the top 20. And I just love the young man. I love him. So anyway, who would you guys vote for right now? If the season was to end today, Bryson, Spieth, or somebody else?
I would vote for Bryson. 2 wins. You know, I know he's not at the top of the FedEx point list anymore, but he's had it looking at an all-around season. DeChambeau. Right now.
Yeah, if we had to cast a ballot right now, I mean, look, he took the U.S. Open, dramatic victory at Arnold Palmer, 5 top 10s in just 10 starts. I mean, he's like second on the money list, right? I think so. Full body transformation. He's getting into Rory's head. I mean, he's just all over the place. So
I like that. Getting into Rory's head.
He's in his kitchen right now.
It's on his birthday. It's Rory's birthday today too. I wonder if he's like
today is Rory's birthday?
34 today.
Oh wow. What were you doing at 34?
That's a good question. That was so long ago.
I'm trying to think, what was I doing at 34? Oh,
I wasn't. Yeah, I don't know.
All right. Anyway, let's focus in on the Wells Fargo tournament taking place at Quail Hollow, of course, in North Carolina. The course is a beast, measuring more than 7,500 yards as a par 71. Bermuda greens are slick and pure. Dogleg par 4s and 5s require players to maneuver their tee ball. So, as a lot of analysts like to call it, is a second shot course. The final stretch of 16, 17, and 18 is the quote-unquote green mile. Those holes are always at the top of the list of the PGA Tour's most difficult. Par is your friend, with the winning score likely to be anywhere between 10 and 13 under par. And keep in mind, this course will host the PGA Championship in 2025, and next year it will also be home of the President's Cup. John, let's start with you. Have you had the privilege of playing this course before?
No, I haven't. But, you know, it's one of the courses on tour that's very consistent every year. They've only not played this event once back in 2017 at Quail Hollow because they were hosting a major. But you said it. I mean, long par 3s, long par 4s, long par 5s. I'm looking for just good ball strikers, someone who doesn't lose strokes off the tee. You know, I like John Rahm this week. I think he's just been a model of consistency. 8 top 10s in his last 10 starts. Here's an unbelievable stat with Rahm. He hasn't lost strokes off the tee to the field since August of 2019. Now, granted, I know we had a little bit of a break, but that's a long time and pretty consistent off the tee. So that's my safe option this week. I know we're going to talk a little bit more about the DFS lineup and the monkey knife fight, but
okay. I came across some interesting stats here. The last 8 winners have finished inside the top 12 in strokes gained tee to green for the week of their win. And so, and just to share with you who's there, top 12 in regard to strokes gained tee to green. Bryson DeChambeau is 1, JT is 3, Rahm, your guy, is 4, Bradley is 5, Zalatoris is 8, Connors is 9. Now, just outside is Schauffele, and Schauffele is 14, Neiman is 15. But I'm just out of curiosity, right? Like the last 8 winners, like, so if the trend continues, out of those guys, obviously, John, you just said you like Rahm. You know me, I'm taking Willie Zalatoris. Christina, any of those guys who are in the top 12 in regard to strokes gained tee to green that you're eyeing this week? Again, DeChambeau, JT, Rahm, Bradley, Zal, and Connors.
None of them. I'm going with Hovland.
What?
Did I just like destroy everything you thought of me?
You're not going chalk this week? Oh my God.
I'm so tired of getting beat up every week that like I took some time So I'm going to Hovland. I'm going with him. Hey, listen, he had a strong finish last week, T3. He's on the cusp. He's going to be top 10 soon when he wins this tournament this week. I've been picking some pretty good people. Like, I've been getting good at this. I don't know. He's finished top 5 in the last 2 of his last 5 tournaments. Like, come on. Like, he's got all this stuff going. Yeah. He's come on.
All right. Okay. No, it's great. It's great. So I want to, no pun intended, I want to tee these trends up for you guys and see if there's anybody here. The last 4 winners of this event played at Quail Hollow all gained plus 2.5 strokes or more off the tee for the week. Okay. Now here's strokes gained off the tee for the past 24 rounds. DeChambeau, Grillo, and Hovland, and Vegas.
And who? Got it.
John. Yeah. So out of those 5 guys, I'll tell you who I like. I like Grillo. I know he didn't make the cut, but he had a phenomenal first round, by the way, and then he wet the bed the following day. But
9th on the tour in strokes gained off the tee. Grillo.
So I like Grillo. I'm gonna put some money on Grillo. Here's another one. The past 7 winners all have averaged well over 290 yards off the tee and ranked at least 36 for the week in driving distance. So I'm going to share with you guys who are at the top of the board in regards to driving distance. DeChambeau, no surprise there. Champ, Clark, Wolf, Neiman, DJ, Zhao, my guy. Burns, Rahm, Sink, and Schauffele.
How does Stuart Sink get in that conversation? Sneaky long, by the way.
He's tied for 27th with Schauffele.
Like 306 yards average off the tee or something. Okay. It's unbelievable.
Yeah.
So, no talk of Rory.
Who?
Do you know, like, I think he's gonna be my sleeper pick. I think he's just
you're gonna take Hovland and Rory?
Get your money, put it in an envelope, mail it to me, and I'll set it on fire for you.
The day that I've been having, I'm just going on. Yeah.
I mean, seriously.
For pure entertainment, clearly.
Rory.
For your entertainment. Okay. We've gone down this road before. I believe, come on, he's 34. He's got to find it. He's in there. He's in there. Rory's the Rory we know and love. That the guy who's won this event 2 times. He knows this course better than anyone. He's, he holds the record for the lowest score. Like he can do it. He can do it. He's there. This is the course. If he's going to break out of that shell that he's been in, or under the rock that has been buried, he's been buried under. This is it.
This is it. All right. So I'm going to tell you.
Want to bet? No.
I'm gonna tell you who I'm rolling with. I'm rolling with Webb Simpson, and you can get him at 22-1. You could also get him as the first round leader at 28-1. And I love his match play over Hovland. Maybe a bottle of wine, Christina. Maybe a bottle of wine, Christina Thompson. Maybe, just maybe. Keep in mind, he's a member. He lives a mile away. He's going to be sleeping in his own bed. He's going to be eating his own porridge, and he's going to be driving his own car.
Porridge?
Therefore, he can
eats porridge besides Goldilocks.
Therefore, he can put on his shoes in the parking lot like I do.
So what's our bet then?
I have Webb finishing better when the tournament's done on Sunday. I have Webb finishing better than Hovland.
Okay. Well, if you're going with like the local guy, what about Varner? Isn't that his home course too?
It is, but here are the metrics for Webb. He ranks 13th this season in putting. He's first in scrambling, first in bogey avoidance, 5th in driving accuracy this season, and these fairways are pretty tight. I feel like this is his own backyard. I think this is his tournament to lose.
Cool.
So I'm all over Webb Simpson. That's my guy. Okay. I also like Willie Zalatoris to finish in the top 5, Rahm to finish in the top 10, Neiman to finish in the top 20 along with Bradley. And I've got a bunch of top 40s. I like Connors. I like Grillo, and I like Sink. And all of these you can get at plus money, by the way.
What's Answer at? Is he in there? Answer?
Yeah.
Because he's another one who he just looks like he's always like hovering around there too. These last few tournaments.
Stop, John, stop it. I'm looking for her. She wants to know what she wants.
I had it up 2 seconds ago and I just closed it.
It's fine. You want to know what Ansler's.
Take your time. Take your time. It's okay.
So Ansler, Answer to win 35-1. For him to finish in the top 5 plus 650. For him to finish in the top 10 plus 335.
I have him in top 5.
Okay, so plus 650.
Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Let's take a look at some of our DFS lineups. So let's start with John's. John, what did you decide this week? Who are you using?
Wow, let me tell you that this was probably the hardest lineup I had to make.
Really?
Yes. I think there's the way the money shook out was really tough. Like if you really wanted to get a top tier guy, you had to take Christina Thompson as your last pick. $17 left in your account, and so I had to kind of spread the love around a little bit. So Stuart Sink, we talked about before, under the radar, as much as under the radar as you can be, with 2 wins on tour. He's sneaky long. He leads the tour in greens and regulation. He can close. He's got a strong upside. Top 30, as we said, in distance before. Your man Connors, tied for 21st in Tampa. Should be ready to go in Charlotte. Really good ball striker. You mentioned Emiliano Grillo. Really good off the tee. He hasn't been playing that good. He missed the cut last week. But he's 9th on tour in stroke gains off the tee. I think he's ready to go as well. Brian Harmon, who I haven't really touched at all this year, but you see his name on the leaderboard quite a bit. I thought he was a good bargain at $8,700. Scores well at Quail Hollow. The only problem with Brian is a little risky off the tee. Then I talked to Cameron Tringali. He's playing at an elite level right now. And he may be a little expensive at $8,400, but I'm going to just play the hot hand with him. And then I had a little over $7,000 to spend, and I took Brendan Steele. 9 straight cuts. So what the hell?
Okay. I like it. I like that lineup. I like that lineup a lot. Thank you very much. By the way, did you guys hear this Ian Poulter that he's got his son on the back? Is this a thing now?
I think it's cool.
I know you mentioned you have Stuart Sink in your lineup. And I've got Stuart Sink finishing the top 40, but and in my write-up article for ESPN I wrote, I hope he has his son Reagan on the bag. I thought that was
Is he still going to be on the bag?
I don't know. I hope so. But now Ian Poulter is putting his son on. Is this going to be, you guys think it's going to become a thing?
Why not?
Right?
Cheap.
But how about this? How about you put your daughter on the bag? Right?
Yep.
Put your daughter on the bag. Anyway.
Or your girlfriend. Like Westwood.
Well, yeah, that's already happened. Are they married? Are they just no, they're not married. They're just okay. Let's pull up my
They're just
DFS.
stooping each other.
Oh, you went there. Let's put up my DFS lineup. Here we go.
Mature.
So obviously there's a variety of places that you can submit a DFS lineup. So here are the 2: Webb, Willie Z, Bradley, obviously all in sync, no pun intended. Sink, Neesmith. You liked Reeve last week, didn't you?
I did. Yeah.
Yeah. So again, I'm with you, John. This was a really hard week to find guys that are in that $69, $68, $6,900 value. So I went with Reeve, and then Webb, Neiman, Grillo, and I don't even know how to pronounce. But is it Batia? Batia?
Yeah. Good job.
He's young. He's really young, but he has a really great short game. He's got a really good iron game. And that was the big reason why I think I feel pretty confident that he's going to make the cut here this week. So again, this is a tough week. The values in order for you to complete your roster are pretty difficult. So I'm looking for guys that might not finish above in the top 40. I'm looking for guys that I can get at like 67, 68, 6,900 that are just going to make the cut. And so I feel pretty confident with those two guys. Christina, what do you have for your monkey knife fight this week?
So doing fantasy points again. I love this app. I think this is such a fun app to play. I mean, you do have to do a little research in here, but it's fun. I mean, they set it all up for you. So anyway, I've got Shopley and DeChambeau on fantasy points, both of them scoring more than 92.5 fantasy points. And I think this tournament, they'll definitely throw some good points up on the board for me. So we got both of those. And then I am also doing a second one where it's birdies or better, which is always a lot of fun. So I have Rahm and Justin Thomas, both of them doing birdies or more than 15.5 birdies for the tournament. So I think those are two solid picks. And I think easily I'm going to win some more money this weekend.
Easily.
Like, I feel like I'm taking candy from a baby, though. I feel bad because I got these picks locked up.
I love it. All right, let's dive into, and by the way, just a reminder, any questions, comments, feel free to post them on our message board. We will answer them at the end of the show. And as always, we like to touch on a few of the hot topics in and around the wide world of golf, and probably none more hot, guys, let's be honest, than Pine Valley Golf Club finally breaking its tradition, not only not allowing women to play their course, but like not even allowing women on the grounds.
Yeah.
And I came across a really interesting article, and I'm going to share this with you. Jack Nicklaus played their course for the first time during his 1960 honeymoon, while his wife Barbara waited outside the gate. Can you imagine?
Through the bushes? Do you think she was like watching through the bushes?
Can we just? I mean, Christina,
honey, I'll be right back. I'm just gonna run inside. I'll be right back.
Can we just
4.5 hours later?
Can we just marinate this for a minute? I'm sorry. I'm on my honeymoon and my husband disappears for 5 hours to go play on a golf course that doesn't allow me even on its premises. On my honeymoon?
I mean,
just
that's right.
Fucking kidding me? Bye.
I've heard that story many times before, bye. And I think I just always was funny to me to find out that he was on his way to Atlantic City. And he's like, hey, we're going to stop by Pine Valley. Like, you're right, to go play golf on their honeymoon. I'm sure there's more to that story, but
I'm sorry, sweetheart. You're not allowed in. So you're just going to have to wait in the car for 5 hours during your honeymoon. Mm-hmm. What the fuck? Jack! Oh my God. Julie, I'm sorry, John. Julie
I was thinking the exact same thing.
Julie
That's so funny. What would my wife do if that were the case?
She'd kick your ass, dude.
There would be no car left when I got out of the round.
You would never
tire tracks.
Dude, you would never have even suggested it.
Well, that's the kind of person I am, right?
There's just it would never even come out of your mouth.
It is Pine Valley.
Yeah.
Yeah. Anyway.
John, let's start with you because you run a golf course.
Well, I mean, why do you have to start with me? I'm on a show with two women. You have to start with the guy.
Yeah, but because you run a golf course. You run a golf course.
Okay.
I mean, like they're still 2000 and late, for God's sakes.
I know. Listen, it's not a problem I deal with. We welcome, obviously, women. We have a robust ladies program. But it's Pine Valley could do whatever they want to do. They're a private club.
And I'm going to just jump in here because obviously I'm a female and I am all about supporting women's golf. And I support everything about equality and getting women out there and being treated equally in the golf environment. And I know we've had this conversation many times before. Yes, it is a private club. Any private club, they can do what they want, right? I mean, that is their choice to do this. You have members with likeness, you bring them together and blah, blah, blah. Okay, we get that. But I think it's great. It's a little late, but it's great that the number one club in the country has finally stepped up. Jim Davis, I don't know where the pressure came from. I'm not sure I really could figure out what started this conversation on their end to do this, but to be able to say, hey, look, we want to, we're going to start allowing women. We want to move towards inclusion, right? That's what he said. So I don't know what the catalyst behind it was. I'm glad that they are doing it. And I've said this before, I would love for them then to really put the money where their mouth is and let's have a women's major event there. Like really show. I know you're not, it's not going to happen, but I think that would be incredible if they stepped up and really wanted to. I'm not saying this year or next year, but start having this and really show. It's not just selecting a few like elite women to be members at their club, but yeah, it's hard. And then Anita, I know we'll talk about, we could talk about is about these clubs and the way they limit the time of the day and they have restrictions as far as based on gender when, and I know, bye John. Hey Brett, why don't we just take
Are we really going there again? Are you trying to get me fired right now?
But I mean, it is a valid point. Like why clubs.
Thank you. Yes, Brett, thank you.
But I mean, come on, let's talk about it. Like gender having clubs that are,
Hold on, I just got to put my mouthpiece in.
Look, we'll end it on this. And I've said this before, and I feel really strongly about this. Tee times should be decided on if it's about a club not wanting slow play in the morning, it should be about handicap. Because I'll tell you what, I've played behind some men that are in their late 60s, early 70s, but they've got the little handicap sign flying on the cart. Well, they can tee off before noon. And I'm stuck behind them, and it's a 5.5 hour round. It's not. It shouldn't be about gender. It should be about what's your handicap. If you have an 18 or under handicap, you should be able to tee off before noon. If you're 18 and over, then okay. I'm sorry, John. 14, 12, whatever.
No, but why does your golf ability have anything to do with the time of day you can play?
Because obviously, if you are a better golfer, you're going to play faster. You're not going to, that.
Yeah, but if I'm a member at a private club, Anita, and I don't mean to interrupt, but I kind of do. If I'm let's say Julie and I are members of Alpine,
right,
and we have to designate one of the two of us to be the A player in the group and the B player,
right?
Because A players get different benefits than the B player do. It could be Julie as the A and me as the B. So we do our tee times on the weekends based on your membership classification. So if you're an A member, you're paying more money. Hence, you're going to have the ability to play the better times. Capiche? It has nothing to do with your ability on the golf course, because I know plenty of people that are +2s and plenty of people that are 22s that both play the same amount of time on the golf course, whether it's fast or slow. It's based, in my opinion, and the opinion at our club, it's based on your membership classification.
So if I'm a female and I'm a member, then I can play anytime I want.
Yeah, Kathy Fleming is an A member. She could play in the mornings.
Okay, but there are a lot of golf courses that don't have that don't allow that.
That's why Alpine is awesome.
Well, I'm not denying that, but the mentality of it though, John, is we don't want women out there that are slow, that are playing slow, and then we're going to be backed up all day on Saturday and Sunday when we've got a ton of people that are. But again, it's not about playing slow. Isn't about gender. Playing slow is about how good of a golfer are you? But
I think also, like Johnny was saying, like there's clubs that have different memberships. You're either member A or B, right? So member A at a club will usually pay a higher premium. So they're given the more premier golf times. And unfortunately, many of the cases, women aren't the A member of their club. So they then are playing in the B or later group. So it is a weird dynamic, and it would be interesting to see how clubs go forward in scrapping all of it and say your members are members. And I mean, and I don't know, it's a very complicated conversation for so many different clubs.
Yeah, and if you want everyone to have the same rights as a member and to have the same privileges and availability of tee times, then everyone has to pay the same price.
Yeah.
Period. If you have people that are spending 2/3 more in their dues, they're going to get better services and better tee times than that's just how life is, and not just in golf, in other areas. If I have the seats by the dugout at Yankee Stadium, I'm getting free ice cream and gummy bears.
But there is a circle back to like Anita's point, is there are clubs that specifically say women doesn't matter. You can't play until the afternoon or until after 11.
I think you'd be surprised that that's starting to change. It's It's not gender. It's based on their membership classification.
That's how they're getting around that.
Touche, my friend. I want to give a big shout out to Taylor Gooch. And I'm reading this right off the article that I printed. Twitter can be the ugliest when gamblers, angry about their losing bets for fantasy lineups, tweet at professional golfers for struggling, in particular in tournaments. Taylor Gooch received a few messages on social media after missing the cut this past week, but he graciously turned the moment into a positive one. He shot a 73 and a 74 to miss the cut by 4 this past week, but 3 bogeys in a row during that stretch during the what did they at Copperhead? What did they call it?
The snake pit.
There you go. He just totally wet the bed in the snake pit. So
what is the snake pit?
No, I said he just totally.
No, I'm playing I'm just doing Jeopardy.
Oh, okay. Okay, Aaron Rodgers.
Aaron Rodgers Jeopardy coming up, followed by Wheel of Fortune with Pat Sajak and Vanna White.
So apparently people were coming at him at Twitter like, you jerk, you lost me money. Anyway, so he was sending people Venmo. He was Venmoing people back their money who bet on him.
Where's my money?
Exactly.
Cool.
Now let me ask you this question: what happens if it's reversed? And like I win a shit ton of money on Taylor Gooch. Is he gonna be like, "Hey, Mascari, I hooked you up. How about a little scratch back?"
Yeah, how about
how's that?
Send me 10%.
I
I
don't think that's happening.
Listen, if I won $1 million on a DFS lineup and a certain player like totally crushed it for me and was the reason I won, I totally would reach out to him on Twitter and be like, "Hey, listen. You won me $1 million. I'll send you 10%." Then
what?
Maybe
You are full of shit. You are completely full of shit. 10%? You're gonna give him $100,000?
No way.
You out of your fucking mind?
How about us?
Are you out of your mind? How?
All right, let's end on let's end on our LPGA update. All right, so I put money on Green because you told me to. Yeah, and she lost by a stroke.
That was a good sleeper pick right there. Like nobody was picking Hannah Green to even lead the tournament.
You crushed it. Now, full disclosure, I picked her to win. I picked her to finish in the top 5 and the top 10. So I did win, but obviously she had really, really good odds to win the tournament. And the fact that she only lost it by a stroke was,
Yeah. No, it was a good pick. It was fun to watch it at 2:30 in the morning as my eyeballs were falling out of my head, but I had to stay up and watch it because when I saw her pitch in for eagle on the 14th hole, I was like, oh my God, we are winning this tournament. And then, I bogeyed the last 2, but that was a bummer. But it was a great tournament. Hyu Kim won. She's 17 under. It was her 4th LPGA win, deserving. She played fabulous golf. 8 under 64. She was flawless. 8 birdies, no bogeys. It was great. But this week we are still in Asia. The LPGA is returning to Siam Country Club for the first time since 2019 for the Honda LPGA Thailand. It is another limited field, so there is no cut. Everyone walks away with some cash, which is cool. We know there's a few storylines. I like a few players. Obviously Amy Yang, she's from Korea. She's the defending champ, but she's not only the defending champ. She's won this tournament in the last 5 years. She's won it 3 times, only to lose to Lexi and Jessica Korda, both of which are not in Asia for this event. So I don't know. Who's the heavy favorite to win this? Amy Yang. To go for 4 in a row, almost to win would be cool. We also have, I think, one of the players that I think is going to have an incredible remainder of the season, and we're going to see her a lot, is Patty Tavatanakit. She's from Thailand. She's a Bangkok native. She's returning home as a major champion. If you remember, she won at the ANA Inspiration back in February, I think it was, or right before the, no, my gosh, my dates are all screwed up. It was at the end of March, right before the Masters. She's going there as a major champ. She is, incredible confidence as a rookie. She rallied last week in Singapore for a T3 finish. So I think she's a strong contender this week. So if you're going to look at players, I would look at Patty, Amy Yang, and also Jasmine Suwanapura, also from Thailand. I mean, her parents live, which is sad. They're in Thailand. Her parents live like 30 minutes from the golf club. She cannot even go see her parents because of the heavy COVID restrictions that they have on the players, that if she wants to see her parents, she literally has to go to like the end of the road and like wave to them. Like there's like no contact. These players are in a bubble right now. So, but great story. Follow them. I think one of them are going to finish up well. In other women's golf news, if you haven't heard, Paula Creamer is returning to the LPGA.
Woo!
Pink Panther is back. She's been off 18-month hiatus due to a wrist injury. This will her first event. Well, actually, so when the girls come back from Asia, they're going to be heading down to Kingsmill in Virginia. So that will be the first event for Paula to play in. She's looking to resume her career, and just yesterday, the USGA announced a special exemption for her. So Paula will be playing in the U.S. Women's Open, which will be held in June at the Olympic Club in San Francisco. Okay. Wow.
I don't know why that happened. I'm not saying anything about Paula Creamer.
Well, that's weird. So Paula, so that's good stuff. We're going to start seeing a lot more of Paula. Hopefully she's healed and her wrist is not going to continue to give her problems. But one of my favorite feel-good stories right now, I have to share this with you. I'm not sure if you guys saw this, but are you familiar with Amy Bockerstedt? I think I'm saying her name wrong. Anyway, she's a young 22-year-old with Down syndrome, and she's going to become the first female golfer with Down syndrome to compete in a national college championship. You may know who she is when I tell you this story. So back in the 2018, no, wait, was it 2018? It was 2019, she joined Gary Woodland on the 16th hole.
Yes.
So, and she was one, like, she played with him in front of that loud crowd. She got up there. She, right before draining that par putt, she turned to Gary and goes, I got this. And she drained it. And the fucking crowd went bananas. So she's such an incredible advocate for showing that, like, just because you have a disability doesn't mean that you can't enjoy this great sport that we have. So, I just tear up every time I hear that story, and it's just become such a viral moment. So, she's really doing incredible things for the community of people with Down syndrome. And I just think that, at the NJCAA, I think I'm saying that NJCAA, I can't say these words tonight. It's D1 basketball championship. Anyway, golf championship.
Hi, welcome to OnTheTee with Christina.
Yeah, maybe it's too many cherries.
I just love the story. I just think she's such a great girl. I've been following her for several years, and just to know that someone with Down syndrome is going to be qualified and be able to play in a golf tournament is just incredible. And I just think it gives people second chance to think about that. Just because you have a disability doesn't rule you out. And I know there's a lot of people, whether they've been disabled from injuries or blind or have other ailments that you would think when you look at them that they wouldn't be able to play. But that's why golf is such a great sport. And we're so lucky to be part of this community because it's so inclusive. So I'm just so excited to hear the story. And I wish Amy all the best and rooting hard for her. So
thank you. Thanks for bringing that story to our attention. I appreciate it. Let's bring in Brett from behind the glass. Hi.
I think contractually I have to turn off this game, but that's okay.
Okay.
Go Nets. Go Nets.
There you go. Any comments or questions on our message board?
Yes, a lot of questions about the player. First of all, before I get into that, I just want to, Christina, give that whole story a shout out about special needs. For those of you who don't know, in addition to my work with Pro Football Network, actually far and away more important than my work with Pro Football Network is my company, The Behavior Movement, which is a physical education company that teaches sports and recreation to individuals with special needs. And to hear the story and the success of of this story is fascinating to me because it's lends more credence to the idea of belief, putting your belief in a person's success and a person's potential instead of looking for reasons to hold them down and hold them back. And Down syndrome is such a visible disability. It's something you can see it on sight. And that it makes it even harder for those guys to succeed because of that. And to know that there are people out there who are pushing this idea that you can reach your max, you can reach your potential, you can do your best, and your best can even be as good as those around you. It's just a fascinating story and one that's not told enough. It's not told enough because it's not happening enough. And so this is a story that is just in much need of amplification, and I'm glad that we're doing it here on this platform because I haven't seen that story yet, and that's a problem. It's a problem I haven't seen the story yet because I should have. So really good stuff on that. I just wanted to throw that out there. But yeah, so first question comes from one of our viewers, Chris. He's watching on the Pro Golf Network YouTube channel. And Chris would like to know, what about Hideki for Player of the Year?
Yeah.
I would just throw out, this is a guy who was the first from his country to win the Masters. The pressure that he must have been under to do that, in addition to a rain delay and all these other things he was going
Where
through.
he went in his car and was just text messaging or like checking out Twitter or something like that, right? Like,
that's right.
Like he was just sitting in his car in the rain delay.
So I guess in addition to that question is, well, you know what? Let me put that to you first. Hideki for Player of the Year, agree or disagree?
Oh, I think for sure in the conversation, absolutely. Come on, John. Why?
He won the Masters. Here's a green jacket and a bazillion dollars. Not the Player of the Year though. Win a couple more times.
Christina?
I agree.
So that is going to be my follow-up question is, does a moment as historic as Decky's throw you into that conversation? And if not, how many moments do you need to have to be in the Player of the Year conversation?
I think you have to have more. I mean, listen, winning the Masters is an incredible accomplishment. I mean, like no one will ever take that away. I mean, it was so cool. I mean, there's so many historical moments that happened with that. You know, history was made. I mean, he was the first player from Japan to win, this. I mean, it's monumental. But Player of the Year, I think, needs to be more than that. I think there's got to be more wins. There's got to be more. He's got to deliver more for golf than just that. And and I think there's some players out there who are grinding, who are on there, delivering us so many little nuggets of excitement throughout the season. And that one nugget, I don't think is enough. It's big, but it's not enough.
I think if you ask anyone on tour if they'd rather have the Player of the Year award or the Masters,
correct,
they would take the Masters.
Right.
We talked about it before. The parity in the PGA Tour is unbelievable. We could probably name 10 people who can win Player of the Year, and there's probably 30 guys who can win any given week on the tour. So, yeah, which makes it even harder to win multiple tournaments, which is why I lean towards DeChambeau as the Player of the Year, because he's won twice already.
So is 2 the number, or once?
I think 3 locks it up, but 2's got a real strong case.
But do people really care the Player of the Year? It's like a Moon Man for MTV, really. I mean, I don't know. Is Player of the Year that? I don't know.
That takes me to my next question, Christina. Is that a problem for golf that the Player of the Year doesn't matter? In every other major sport in America, the NBA MVP, the NFL MVP, the Heisman in college football, the MVP in baseball, those matter to all of those sports.
But here's the thing: the FedEx Cup,
right?
The FedEx Cup point total is pretty much dictating who the Player of the Year is, right? Like you get point, so us sitting here talking about like this is our own personal viewpoint, right? Like Who do we think the Player of the Year is? I mentioned Willie Zalatoris. Willie Zalatoris hasn't won shit yet, but each and every tournament he tees it up, he comes in the top 20, and he's played a lot. Like he doesn't take a lot of tournaments off, and this is his rookie year. He's not familiar with how things operate on tour. This week will be his first time playing this track. Like, I just, to me, like there's a lot of things that go into why I think he should be Player of the Year. where when you look at the FedEx Cup standings, it's all about performance in regard to like how many tournaments you've won and where you land in the grand scheme of things. So
Christina, who won the Super Bowl last year?
This past Super Bowl?
Yeah.
Just to be clear.
The one that just happened.
Yes.
Oh, no, Tampa Bay.
Okay, who won the MVP of the NFL last year?
And wait, say it again.
Who won the MVP
This year?
this past season?
Brady Kronk. I don't know.
This is my point.
Kronk.
This is my point right now. No one cares.
I have no
about
idea.
that.
Is that his name? Am I screwing up his name?
I guess that
Kronk, yes.
Yeah. I guess that's true. Although my counterpoint to that, before I move to our final question, my counterpoint to that would just simply be, casual football fans may not know who the MVP was, but football fans themselves know who the MVP is. And my question really was about golf fans. Golf fans don't care about Player of the Year for the golfers, but NFL fans, basketball fans, they do care about who the MVP is.
Yeah, but I think we're programmed to think about the majors. That's really what it comes down to.
So, which is why I think Decky puts himself in that conversation. He's won once, and it was the Masters.
But aren't we comparing like team sports to like an individual sport already? So is there even? Of course, I get it. We're gonna have like players that are standouts, like MVPs on these group, teams. Golf is an individual sport. We already have so many things that are measuring that. So I don't think it's really a fair thing. It's an equal comparison to team sports to individuals.
All right, so final question comes from a Twitter viewer, and he wants his player of the year is Justin Thomas, which goes along with what Anita was saying about the FedEx Cup standings being an indicator. He's currently number 1 in the FedEx standings, so should he be a front runner for player of the year?
How many times did he win?
1.
2 beats 1. In my opinion, one win on the tour doesn't make you player of the year, unless you're ripping top 10s every week.
Well, he's leading the FedEx Cup.
He won a big tournament.
Yeah, I do believe that Justin Thomas is going to win again. By the way,
I agree.
he's just like each and every time he tees it up. I mean, he's really like, I know he had a rough start to the season for a number of reasons. His grandfather passed away. Tiger was in the car accident. He's closer to Tiger. He's closer to Tiger than anyone else. He said some things that he should not have said, period, let alone was caught on air. He lost a lot of sponsorships. I mean, he had a rough start to the season, and now it's kind of like tapered out. So I think we're seeing him do better. I think we're going to see I expect Justin Thomas to win another tournament this year.
For sure.
Well, this is going.
DeChambeau has 5 top 10s.
We get it, John. You want
right, Brett? I mean, I don't know why this is still a question.
Okay, Rahm has 8 of his last 10. Rahm has finished in the top 10 in 8 of his last 10 tournaments.
Great. How many wins does he have?
Oh my Lord!
See what
you're like the guy.
Question.
You're like what's this Jason Spiegel from? What's that movie where he's like, I don't care how many rings Jordan has. That's your only argument. That's the only argument I need, Sean. That's you right now. Wins. How many wins does he have? All right. That's going to do it for me from questions. I will leave at this point. It's a great point from Chris, one of our viewers on YouTube. The problem with Player of the Year is it doesn't help you. It's just simply an award. A baseball MVP, we don't call them Player of the Year in the real sports there, Chris. Mm-hmm. A baseball Player of the Year or a football Player of the Year gets better salary negotiations for having won that award. For golf, it doesn't get you more money. That's a very fair point. That's going to do it for me as we come up to the very end of our show. I'll see you guys on the other side.
Thank you, Brett. Appreciate you guys. Guys, thank you. Again, in closing, I have Webb Simpson this week at the Wells Fargo. John, you have?
John Rahm.
And Christina?
Hovland.
And you have Hovland. And you and I have a bottle of wine on who's going to finish better, Webb Simpson or Hovland, right?
Yep.
All right. You got it. Guys, great show as always. Everybody, thank you so much for tuning in. If you missed any portion of the show, it will be up on a number of social media platforms. Make sure you check it out. We're with you every Tuesday night, 7:00 right here to recap and look forward all things golf. Have a great week.